this thing on? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. I'm in a new shop space that I haven't really shown you guys. This is a temporary spot for me that a friend's allowing me to use, and work on my Lotus, which is awesome. So for the time being, I've got this great little abandoned garage with power, and I've even got water on the side of the garage to wash my hands afterwards. So it's really cool. This is actually a little 3-car garage, kind of a dream type of space, just to have like an old garage like this with open beams. Very cool. So I'm enjoying the space, and this episode I'm going to show you guys something that I'm really excited about. In 3 weeks time, my Targa is going to be done at the body shop. So I've got a friend linking up with me. I'm going to do a video on that day. So on a Saturday, I'm going to the body shop. I'm going to be assembling the car, and I'm really looking forward to that. The goal is to put the drivetrain in, and the suspension, do as much as we can while utilizing the lift there at Perfect Lines Restoration, which is going to be a great help. So what I've done today is I went to Perfect Lines, gathered my suspension parts, and I'm basically taking an inventory of everything I have. I'm going to assess, the bushings, shocks, and everything. I'm replacing the torsion bars because they were 33 millimeter in the rear. Not even sure what was up front, but I'm going to check that here in a second. Gonna clean the parts. I might paint the arms, probably not. The goal with this car is just to get it working and have it be a car I can really enjoy. I've decided not to paint it, and I feel really good about that. I want to use this car and not be super worried about perfect paint. So more to come on this car, and I'm really excited to share with you guys the process of putting it together and what I'm gonna do with it. But let's go look at these parts, see what we've got. Shut up. Usually cleaning parts is such a bear, but I haven't done it in quite a while, and I've got a lot of anticipation towards this. Hey, smuggler box door. Lots of insert covers. Alright, we all know what this is. Body shop guys, man. Can't live with them, can't live without them. Hardware. 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 Gonna want those. Foam padding. Passenger side foot. Race car stuff, huh? And this is the kind of crap that's not going back in the car. Fuel? Fuel door? Take a look at some hardware. Let's see what we've got. This is exciting. I can't wait to drive this thing. It's gonna be really great. All right, cool, man. Emergency brake stuff. This is all good. Ooh, that bolt looks kind of screwed up. I'm gonna have to clean these threads up. This is all the kind of stuff you don't want to do later, You want to do it now. Am I missing anything? This is looking good. Let's get it all organized up. Well, I was not expecting this on these rear spring plates. I wasn't really expecting, look at this other one was tight. Look at this one, it's just gonna come right off. There's like, this guy had like a set screw into the poly bushing. I mean, these bushings are fine. I've never really been a fan of these poly bushings, and not really from experience, more so from what I've read online. Just that they squeak and all of that. So, and look at, he just sprayed, you know, green right onto these things too. So I'm definitely gonna paint these black while they're out. I didn't think I was gonna do this because, again, I don't want this car to be this fancy nice thing, but I can't leave it like this. It's just, yeah, just not possible in my mind. Can't have a green, you know, just don't do things like that, all right? You just don't. But, you know, it's out of the car and it just makes sense. So, okay. We're going places, folks. We're getting here, getting there, getting somewhere. Getting high off this brake cleaner. Whew! This is not a well ventilated area. Here it comes. Don't fight me, I'm trying to impress my friends. Not really, I'm in a hurry. I got a date. Oh, gosh. And that is why men don't last as long as women. You know, that was a small case sample on how you bust your knuckles. Pulled the caps off to see the size of the torsion bars, and in the front, I couldn't believe it, but they're actually 19 millimeters, which is what I wanted. It's the stock size. He had 19 millimeters in the front and 33 millimeters in the rear. You know, it was a race car, but that's kind of a weird setup. I don't know why he had it like that. It was his car, so that's good. I've got a friend that is hooking me up with a set of 23 millimeter bars. I really want this car to just drive soft and smooth. You know, I'm not going Sport Plus. I want soft comfort. I think you know, my white car is set up pretty stiff, and I really like it. I'm happy. I don't regret setting it up that way at all. But my olive car and my 912 are too stiff, and it's mainly because of the suspension. You know, I'm not sure. These are Bilstein struts, and I've got Bilstein on both of those cars that I just described are too stiff. But when I press down on these, you know, it doesn't feel very stiff. And even though these are, I'm not sure which inserts they are. I did take a picture of the numbers on them. So I'm guessing that these are they're green, so I'm thinking that they're the V6 shocks. Now that's what I put in my 912, and I'm incredibly unhappy with them. They're just too stiff. I want to go to the Coneys. So I thought about switching over to Coneys with these, but I'm gonna leave what's in here because I do remember that the car was not very stiff. I was kind of surprised. Even though it was a race car, my impression when I drove it was like, you know, it made a lot of noises, like a lot of like race car rattling noises, but it didn't ride stiff, you know. And now knowing that it had standard size torsion bars in the front, and essentially, you know, Bilstein, probably V6 shocks, I think that's why. You know, I think that it does have these, it's got these spherical bushings for the banana arms, and I spoke with the guy that I trust for suspension. He told me that these are fine, they're very streetable. So I'm thinking about whether or not to keep those. The bushings on the control arms and the spring plate bushings are polyurethane. I really don't want to keep that. I'm going to change those to rubber. So I want to be ahead of the game, you know, by getting my suspension ahead of time, figure out what I have, you know, clean, and just assess if I need to replace anything. I want to do it now. So both ball joints are torn pretty badly. I'm going to replace those. One of the tie rods has got a pretty good tear in the rubber, so I'll replace that. It's just a tie rod end, and everything else looks okay. I'm at the point now where, you know, I'm just thinking, but I'm not going to put these back in. These are for more camber in the front. And you know, I got standard, these are just the standard motor mounts in the rear, and they look fine. This isn't going to be a show car, so I'm not going to have these plated, or I'm not going to take the hardware and replate any of that. I'm just going to put it back in the car. You know, I'm going to make sure that the threads are all good. If there's anything that needs to be cleaned up, now is the time for me to do that. Alright, well that's it for this week's video. If you enjoyed this, be sure to hit the subscribe button, share with a friend, like, comment, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be posting more videos about this Targa here very soon. So thanks a lot for your support, and I'll see you next time.